Broly has become best friends with Goku. This is a statement I don't think anyone who grew up in the 90s would dream to say. Remember the writing in the old movies? Broly's whole reason he wanted to kill Goku was that he disturbed his sleep.
But that's so dumb!
Now, I wouldn't say that isn't a good enough reason to want to kill someone, because sleep is very important. However, we are in the new era where the writing has drastically improved to help establish a new story that branches off from what we grew to love. But you're probably gonna say, ABD, good writing? Are you serious right now? How is Broly becoming friends with Goku even make any sense? Well, look here, you silly willy. I think you forgot who Goku actually is. Remember when Goku, I don't know, saved Vegeta who planned to destroy them all? Remember when Goku gave Ki to Frieza to save himself even though he wiped his entire race? Remember when Goku gave Cell a Sensei bean to recover against Gohan? And he eventually did the same thing with Moro? I rest my case. So at the end of the day, Goku witnessing the potential of Broly's new power aligns with his love for fighting the strongest and his desire to grow without bounds. In the superhero movie and chapter 93, we learn that Goku has become Broly's sensei. This all began in their original bout, in which the pair as Gogeta discover his limitless power. Broly's strength at the time was stated to be stronger than Jiren, as the editors at Psycho Jump confirmed it, stating that Goku and Co are going against the strongest opponent thus far. I mean, look no further when he made light work of Golden Frieza.
Behold, this is gold! Jump me! Got it! My toe!
The light novel of the movie confirmed the aftermath, in which Frieza states,
"Fantastic! What incredible battle power!"
There was no mistaking it. No being in existence could defeat Broly as he was. Now imagine getting slapped up so hard that Broly became one of the reasons Frieza finally decided to train for 10 years to unlock his black form. He was tired of getting his ass beat by the Saiyan race, and remember, his statement is after the tournament of power in which he participated and witnessed multiple other universes. Broly's movie is evidence of how fast he can grow. This dude started off at the same power level as base Vegeta, and then grew to Super Saiyan Gogeta in a matter of 2 to 3 hours time. The gap in strength was decreasing drastically, whereas Vegeta over here was making people like Boo smell his feet as it was so boring to fight him. However, in the end, Gogeta used Stardust Breaker, which attacks the evil inside the target. It deals critical damage to an opponent depending on the amount of evil within their soul, as the attack completely purifies the evil energy that caused Janemba to transform in the first place. So, to nobody's surprise, he died. But in Broly's case, he didn't. And Gogeta smiles because he realizes that Broly's heart is devoid of evil intentions. Goku hasn't experienced another pure Saiyan like himself until Broly, which allowed him to feel a renewed sense of Saiyan pride and get closer to his identity. During the Frieza saga, this understanding was incomplete, as he merely took Vegeta's pride instead of his own and used that as his drive to defeat him, for example. In fact, even with Vegeta, it wasn't Goku who was influenced by him, rather it was the other way round. Goku, who was brought up with humanity, was able to transcend further with his Saiyan powers than Vegeta ever did. This showcased the Saiyan's true power was lost in translation through time. The only pure Saiyan of the past Goku got in contact with was Yamoshi, who helped him tap deeper into Super Saiyan God's power in chapter 4. But that changed when he learned about pride from his father Bardock in chapter 82 onwards, which gave them full faith in their strength and identity. Now look here, your next question is probably, what the hell is Saiyan pride? Well, according to Broly's director, during the flashback scene, Bardock is really the only pure warrior Saiyan. The others have all been tamed by Frieza's army. Despite being from a warrior race, even King Vegeta doesn't challenge Frieza to a fight, as they are oppressed and products of their environment to follow a dictator rather than lead in their ideals. This is a huge deal because in the early days of Dragon Ball Z, losing your tail was stated to be losing all your pride as a Saiyan. Vegeta lost his mind when his was cut off. However, this new continuity is also a form of symbolism to the fact that Bardock is evolving into the perfect balance that a Saiyan is required to be. Remember that the original Saiyans who brought forth the power of Super Saiyan God were good-hearted people. Therefore, in parallel, Bardock being reminded of his family and the love that comes with it brings forth his compassion to Granola, also making a selfless wish for his sons Goku and Raditz to thrive.
Who?
Oh, come on guys, this is a serious moment. Stop making fun of Raditz. I know Okay, fine, he deserves it. However, we see Goku react, shocked and trying to comprehend all the memories of his childhood that just flooded through his brain. With this, Goku comes to terms with his past, as his life on Earth locked it away, and by proxy, a crucial part of himself. We see Bardock's family living a simple life, in which Goku witnesses a family much like his own. Saiyans who love and care for each other. A father who loves his sons and works hard on a mission to provide. A father that fights for their safety. It's enough. It's enough to make a grown man cry, I'm just saying. Bardock highlights how the Saiyan race didn't have to be savage beasts. This has been a story arc developing throughout Dragon Ball Super's introduction. In chapter 69, Vegeta states to Beerus that the Saiyans were already destructive before Frieza took them over, meaning that their culture was already corrupted. Therefore, pure-hearted Saiyans like Broly, Goku, and Bardock are special, as they follow the path of Yamoshi, an ancient warrior who could transform into a Super Saiyan long before they could. He was righteous and attempted to wipe out evil. This motif is continued through Bardock's character carrying on his will, pushing Goku and Vegeta forward with his idea of what Saiyan pride is. To him, for example, it was thinking about his victory against unbeatable odds no matter what, surpassing his limit and protecting those he loved. As a result, Goku claims he finally understands, and in parallel Vegeta relates, as he states that he had begun to lose sight of his pride and true self. Vegeta realizes that the sins of his Saiyan ancestors are not his burden to be guilty about, but as their prince, their pride should embody what Bardock reminded him of, where he defeated Gas against all odds, being a master of his own fate. This is why Granola's character was a parallel to Vegeta, as Vegeta saw how the past actions of his race created an innocent boy to lust for revenge due to the pain that they caused. Thus, he mentored Granola so that he could stray away from the path that he once took in his younger days. The reverse is true for Goku, as Broly sparked the first sense of Saiyan pride renewal, which led him on the path of finding who he is and polishing Ultra Instinct. According to the timeline, the superhero arc takes place after the events with Granola, which coincides with the newfound idea of pride they just learned. Therefore, Goku becomes friends with Broly and decides to train him, keeping him safe on Beerus's planet, away from threats such as Black Frieza and more. Unlike Broly's savage comrades, Bro just wanted to have a peaceful life training and be surrounded by friends. Sounds like a casual Sunday to me. However, because he was born with the sin of being too powerful and undermining Vegeta, he was sent away to a desolate planet. Paragus selfishly used his son to fulfill his own pride and ambition, which ultimately broke Broly's mind. He had no choice but to rely on anger to survive. This is why Goku's reasoning during the battle had no effect. He knew Broly wasn't a bad guy and tried to tell him that they don't have to fight, like, you know, in this brutal fashion. However, ultimately, we learn Broly needs love and compassion to calm the Hulk inside him. And that's exactly what Goku and his friends are there for. As a result, Goku visited their planet to make sure Broly doesn't die of hunger so that he can train him to be an ideal sparring partner, and he accepts Goku as his sensei. The idea of Goku becoming a sensei is thematically ingrained within the story already. When Boo died, for example, the first thing Goku prayed for was his reincarnation, so he can fight him once more. Later, he finds Baby Oob, keeping an eye out for the day he is ready to train under him. Remember, even as far back as the Cell Saga, Goku took it upon himself to train his son Gohan, and no other sensei achieved results as he did. He even flexed that on Vegeta, pissing him off. Remember that stuff?
Oh, but my pride, girl, I wish I were a carrot.
Vegeta is the king of elves. He still is. The only W Vegeta has ever had was clapping Bulma's cheeks. He's an elf.
He's got a point.
Furthermore, Master Roshi explained in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot the type of training Goku has to pass down in order for his student to become a fine martial artist is by teaching basic discipline and manners.
What?
Yeah, that sounds just like Goku. But now Goku has put his master's words into action by training Broly. In Dragon Ball Super Chapter 92, he instructs the mutant to power up and fight with a level head without snapping into a rage. Despite Broly having a sturdy body with near limitless stamina, he doesn't quite know how to calm his mind and heart. This is required to use his strength to its maximum potential, inflicting more damage than ever before. Dragon Ball Super Chapter 93 confirms with Vegeta that they have trained their bodies to the limits. What's holding them all back are their minds. As a result, they waste too much of their power and cannot release 100% of their strength as they are not relaxed in mind and body. So let's take Broly's mind as an example, ladies and gentlemen. Hey Broly, how are you? Do you have friends? How's life? You see my point, guys? It doesn't work. So you see, Broly has an interesting problem. He needs to control his mind. Whilst explaining the process for turning Super Saiyan, Toriyama mentions that most Saiyans have some S cells, although not a great quantity. However, Broly is an anomaly, as described by King Vegeta in the movie. Broly's unstable mind actually comes from his exceptionally high amount of S cells, and anger increases it even further. The sheer growth of Broly's S cells was too much for his brain power to process, causing an overload. As a result, he loses control of his power, which leads him to go on a blind rampage. This is similar to Gohan's rage, as seen with his battle with Raditz, increasing his power level higher than them all, and later Frieza. But more notably, even with the Super Saiyan transformation itself, Goku had to see Krillin explode, and Gohan for Super Saiyan 2 had to see Android 16 die, in which he stated, "You're kind-hearted, but he has to let it go." In fact, Toriyama stated, "A gentle spirit is the best method to significantly expand one's S cells." The logic behind this is that they can experience anger in a more extreme form. This explains Goku's training methods with Broly in Chapter 93. In the Granola arc, Goku learned the importance of his Saiyan identity, which helped him create an even stronger version of Ultra Instinct. Instead of trying to imitate an emotionless angel like Whis, his Ultra Instinct had to embody his true self, which included his Saiyan emotions. Thus, it increased his power level against Gas even further, eventually even taking a lead in the power level before, his brother sold him out, and then he got even stronger and the wish, and he took away his own life. Was that you get the gist, right? All of this leads to us deciphering Goku's game plan for improving Broly's mental stability, and that is making Broly tap into God Ki and go Super Saiyan Blue. This is confirmed in V-Jump, describing how Broly should learn to control his emotions and fight in a more relaxed state. Broly was described by Goku to be as strong as Beerus in terms of raw power, but the one thing missing is him improving his mentality. In Dragon Ball Super Episode 22, Goku and Vegeta enter a dimension filled with God Ki. The pressure radiating from it was so high that they were unable to move. But that changed when the Saiyan duo controlled their energy whilst increasing it at the same time. Controlling and containing their energy required a level of calmness in their mind unlike anything they'd achieved before. And this is the exact problem Broly has. That's why he has trouble fighting Goku and Gogeta in their Super Saiyan Blue forms. But luckily for you, I've discovered something. Look at this promo. It hints at this notion and states Broly will find a new evolution different from Goku and Vegeta. As a result, Broly is aiming for his own version of Super Saiyan Blue, which means another color of the rainbow is going to be unlocked.